अपने कमाई कमाते हैं.
They make good money selling this kind of jewelry and the stones. अच्छा.
रखो आप कोई अगर हुकूमत के साथ कोई कांटेक्ट करके अगर
हमारे लिए मुसीबत है. मैं को जहाँ से सुबह जाता.
They're not begging for money. They're not asking for anything. They're just saying we'd really like to have a school here so a lot more of the children can go and get an education. And I think that is really nice. In the middle of nowhere, they're speaking English and they're working.
We are speaking Urdu.
You are speaking English?
No, some words you are speaking.
This is the guy who rounds up all the kids and takes them to school. So he's important. But this guy just said to me, you know what, I really just thank God that I was born here in the mountains and that we can live like this. They're obviously really very happy. And I'm very happy because I've clocked myself a bit of a bargain. So, shukriya aapka bahut.
I'm now only a few hours away from a place that has an almost legendary status among Pakistanis. By reputation, it's not just one of the most beautiful places on earth, it's also said to be a place where people live so well that they may survive long past their 100th birthdays.
We're heading towards those mountains.
Dawn in Hunza Valley. If someone had told me that Hunza is the real-life model for Shangri-La, I'd have believed them. The valley is overlooked by 7 peaks, all of them higher than 7,000 meters, and one of them still unclimbed. Monday morning and I'm sitting on the roof of Pakistan. It certainly beats peak time traffic in London. Looking at 7 peaks at sunrise, it's phenomenal, breathtaking. It's so peaceful up here. I think you have to really experience this, and for me it's going to be an experience that I'm never going to forget in my whole life. And the only words that come to mind right now is Pakistan Zindabad. Hamza had nothing in common with the austere world I encountered outside the valley. Women mix more easily with men, wear colourful clothes and do not cover their faces. Most people here are Ismailis, a liberal branch of Islam led by the Aga Khan. I've come to meet Shabnam and her family, who live in this narrow maze of alleys in the heart of the old town.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम. आप शबनम हैं?
जी मैं शबनम हूँ.
कैसी? बस ठीक ठाक. ठीक हो? मैं अंदर आ सकती हूँ? अच्छा ठीक है, शुक्रिया. इसलिए वहाँ कश्मीर में कुछ भी ना था.
Shabnam's life with her family may look idyllic, but below the surface there's a hint that not all is well in paradise.
आप बताएं कि हुंजा में औरतों की जिंदगी कैसे होती है?
सुबह जाते हैं उधर जाके वो गाय का वो करते हैं ना, चारा थोड़ा सा घास करके ना उनको डाल के फिर उसके वो जो दूध देता है तो वो करके.
और आपके जो हस्बैंड है वो क्या काम करते हैं?
वो ऐसे अपने भंडार है प्याई में होते हैं. इस वक्त वो कराची है तो उधर है.
और आप उनको मिस नहीं करते? मतलब है कि कराची में कितना
मिस तो करती हूँ, अब क्या करूँ.
कितनी देर के लिए जाते हैं?
अभी पहले तो 7-8 महीने में आता था, अभी तो साल में आता है. अभी साल जुलाई में आया था, पिछले जुलाई में, अभी फिर जाके जुलाई में आएगा.
मतलब कि आप पूरे 1 साल अपने हस्बैंड से बगैर रहती
हूँ. बिल्कुल. अब क्या करूँ, फिर हमें भी वो करना है ना, पालना है उसने.
कोई मजदूरी करके बच्चों को पालना है.
आजकल के दौर में कितनी महंगाई है, तो फिर बेरोजगारी वो नहीं होता, इधर बिठा के क्या करूंगी?
आजकल बहुत मर्द बाहर जाके काम करते हैं।
जो फौज में हैं, जो कोई और जॉब्स वगैरह में है ना, बाहर ज्यादा लोग हैं इधर के। थोड़े बहुत हैं जो इधर जमींदारी करते हैं और इधर कोई मजदूरी का काम अगर हुआ तो इधर ही गांव में वो करते हैं, बाकी तो तकरीबन सारे बाहर ही।
Living apart from your husband may be hard, but women in Hunza still lead much freer lives than those outside the valley, as Shabnam's uncle is quick to point out.
उसके दूसरे मजहब के साथ ताल्लुक अच्छे रखते हैं और भाईचारा होता है, इनके साथ कोई झगड़ा छेड़ा हमारे पास नहीं है। तो दूसरे इलाके में झगड़ा फसाद होता है, यहाँ पर सुकून से, अमन से, आराम से बैठते हैं, बेन माँ के साथ एक खून होता है, वो हम इकट्ठे एक जगह पर बैठकर रोटी भी खाते हैं, हर कुछ काम करते हैं, बाग में जाए काम करते हैं। अब मेहमान आदमी जब यहाँ पर आते हैं, आपको ये हमारे बेन मान सलाम आपको करते हैं, जो आपको उनके हाथ से आए मेहमानी करता है, पैसा और चीज देते हैं मुफ्त की। अगर नहीं है तो नहीं करता।
I really hope that the people here don't continue their drift away from the valley. Anywhere else as beautiful as this would have a thriving tourist trade, and the men wouldn't have to leave to find work. This whole area has an almost mythical quality about it. Just a few kilometres out of Hunza, I catch sight of a thin mountain track way off in the distance. It's actually the remains of the Silk Road, an epic trade route that connected ancient China to the Middle East and Europe. And high up in the fold of a mountain is a wooden bridge, hanging precariously between two ledges. I wonder when it was that the last traders crossed that bridge, and what they must have felt to be confronted with the daunting view ahead of them, dominated by the 8,000-metre peak known as Raga Poshi, or Shining Wall. The last few days in the mountains have been some of the most memorable of my life, and I feel that just for a brief time I've been cocooned from the real world. But travelling south to Islamabad, I know that all that is about to change. Throughout my journey, the news in Pakistan has been dominated by one story. A story that has turned into a political crisis threatening the military government of President Pervez Musharraf. And yet the demonstrations on the streets are led by the most unlikely people. Lawyers. In March, the country's Chief Justice, Iftikhar Chowdhury, was suspended by President Musharraf in what many Pakistanis see as an assault on the independence of the legal system. Political demonstrations in Pakistan are not always the safest places to be, so I'm a little nervous about going into the middle of this one, right outside the country's Supreme Court. Among the protesters is a familiar face, Imran Khan, a national cricketing hero now turned political leader.
Every time the judiciary has sided with the powerful. Whoever is in government, it's always sided with them. This is the first time a Chief Justice has stood up to the military establishment, or to the powerful. It's the only time it's happened in our history.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's, you know, despite the heat, you can see the enthusiasm.
Are you doing a speech or?
No speeches. There's no need for this. It's just showing solidarity with the Chief Justice, that's all. Telling him that, look, we are with him. And telling the judges inside that we want justice. We don't want military justice. We want justice which is in the Constitution. You know, we want to send a message that, look, these are peaceful protests. We don't want any anarchy, chaos. We just want justice in this country.